What happens when the school's most feared bully picks the wrong black girl to mess with? When he shoves her, expecting her to back down, something explosive happens instead. Naomi Brooks had only been at Crestwood Academy for a week. Her father's job had brought them to the city, and with the move came a new house, new routines, and a new school. She wasn't thrilled about being the new kid, but she had no choice. What she hadn't expected was how quickly she'd land on Tyler Grant's radar. From the first day, the school bully seemed determined to make her life difficult. That morning, Naomi wasn't looking for trouble. Books hugged to her chest. She was on her way to class when it happened. Well, well, Tyler sneered, his voice loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. Looks like someone's lost. He tilted his head, mocking. You sure you're in the right place? Conversations died down as students stopped to watch. Nobody dared interfere, but phones came out, screens glowing, ready to record. Tyler's smirk widened when he saw he had an audience. Naomi's patience had run out. She snapped, her voice sharp. Move, Tyler. I don't have time for your nonsense today. The crowd buzzed with shock. Nobody talked back to Tyler Grant. His smirk twisted into a scowl. Oh, you think you can talk back at me? You don't belong here. This school isn't for people like you. He stepped closer, towering over her. Have you ever had someone look you dead in the eye and tell you that you don't belong, just because of who you are? What would you do if a bully tried to put you in your place right there in front of everyone? Before we go further, tell us, where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. We love seeing how far these stories reach. And if you believe no student should ever be bullied or made to feel less because of the color of their skin, hit that like button and subscribe to Story Arc, because standing up to bullies is how real change begins. Naomi's eyes narrowed. You really don't want to do this, she warned. Tyler scoffed mockingly. Or what? You gonna run crying to a teacher? Go ahead, little girl. This ain't your place. And with that, he shoved her hard on the shoulder. Her bag slipped from her hand and hit the floor. She muttered under her breath, All right, you asked for it. Before Tyler could blink, Naomi moved. One sharp twist, one practiced motion. His arm seized, her body pivoted, and bam! Tyler Grant hit the ground hard. Gasps ripped through the hallway. Students froze, jaws dropped. The moment Tyler hit the floor, the sound echoed down the hallway. Phones were already rolling, and by the time Naomi picked up her bag, the clip had spread like wildfire. Within hours, Crestwood Academy's group chats were flooded. By the next day, the video was all over social media. The once untouchable Tyler Grant, son of wealthy parents, self-appointed king of the halls, had been flipped flat on his back by the new black girl. His pride took a harder hit than his body, and humiliation burned like gasoline on an open flame. Tyler couldn't handle it. Everywhere he turned, whispers followed. Students smirked behind their phones, teachers gave him pointed stares, and even his so-called friends stopped laughing at his jokes. So he did what spoiled kids always do. He ran to his parents. That weekend, his father stormed into their mansion's study, red-faced and furious as Tyler replayed the video on his phone. This is unacceptable, Edward Grant growled. No one humiliates my son like this. He slammed a fist on the desk. We'll make sure she pays for this. Suspension. Expulsion if I have my way. Tyler smirked faintly, thinking his father's power and influence would erase the stain of defeat. The plan was set. They'd go to the school, demand the principal punish Naomi, and use every bit of status and money to crush her. Monday morning, Naomi walked into school with her father. She didn't know what waited, but she trusted him. He was calm, steady, always telling her to hold her head high. The Grants arrived just minutes later. Father and son stormed into the principal's office, faces twisted with arrogance. The moment Edward's eyes landed on Naomi and her dad, his lip curled in open disgust. You must be the father of the ape that injured my son, Edward spat, the words cutting the air like a knife. The insult hung heavy in the room. Naomi's heart thudded, but her father remained composed, his voice even. Yes, I am her father. My name is Daniel Brooks, and am the... I don't care what your name is. Edward snapped, cutting him off. And I certainly don't care who you are. Your kind don't deserve to go to the same school as my son. He leaned closer, his voice dripping with venom. Just wait until the principal comes in. I'll make sure your thug daughter gets what she deserves. Expelled. Naomi's father drew a slow, steady breath. His eyes didn't waver. Is that so? he asked quietly. If you just let me finish, I'm actually the— Save it, Edward barked, waving him off. The last thing I want to do is listen to someone like you. The office door creaked open just as the tension reached its peak. All eyes turned as a woman stepped in, Naomi's class teacher, Miss Harlow. A white woman with a crisp blouse, neat skirt, hair tied back, and a calmness that filled the room. Edward nearly leapt from his chair in relief. Oh, thank God you're here, Miss Harlow, he said quickly, his voice dripping with desperation as if she were his savior. Harlow nodded politely. Good day, sir. Then her eyes shifted, and she added evenly, I see you've already met our new principal. With a graceful gesture, she motioned toward Naomi's father. The words landed like a thunderclap. For a heartbeat, silence. Then Edward's mouth dropped open, followed by his son's. You're the principal? Edward sputtered, staring at Naomi's father in disbelief. His face twisted, the arrogance faltering. Why didn't you say anything? Naomi's father raised an eyebrow, calm as ever. Well, I tried to, but you wouldn't let me finish. That's not true, Edward barked, voice shaking. No, you didn't. I would have remembered. But the principal's tone cut clean through his denial. I did, but you were too busy making assumptions about me, about my looks, about my skin color, to listen. Edward's face flushed crimson. His voice cracked. No, that's not true. If I'd known you were the principal, I would never have said those things. A laugh rolled out of Naomi's father, low and bitter. That makes it even worse, he said. You took one look at me and decided you already knew exactly who I was. Edward shook his head violently. No, that's not what I've heard enough, the principal said firmly, his patience gone. He turned his gaze squarely toward the bully and his father. You came here demanding my daughter be expelled because she defended herself, but what you failed to consider is this. Your son has been bullying her since the day she enrolled in this school. Every shove, every insult, every humiliation, it's all been documented. And the video that every student recorded shows it clearly. Your son attacked first, and my daughter only defended herself. Tyler shifted uneasily in his seat, color draining from his face. The principal continued, his voice heavy with authority. So let me make this perfectly clear. The only one getting expelled today is your son. I reviewed the footage personally, and it shows exactly what happened. Your son started the fight, and my daughter acted in self-defense. Edward's jaw clenched, his knuckles whitening on the armrest of the chair. You can't be serious, he barked. You can't expel my son. He's the victim here. Look at his arm. Look at the bruises. That girl assaulted him. But Daniel Brooks, the principal, didn't so much as flinch. His voice was steady, his authority filling the room. No, he said firmly, your son assaulted her. The only reason he ended up on the ground is because my daughter defended herself. Edward tried to laugh, but it came out choked. You can't do that! The principal leaned forward. Oh, yes, I can. And beyond that, I've done my homework. I've reviewed disciplinary files. This isn't the first time your son has been involved in fights. He has a long trail of bullying, intimidation, and harassment behind him. Teachers have written reports, students have complained, but your influence and money have kept him untouched. His gaze hardened. That ends today. The room went quiet. Tyler squirmed in his chair, his arrogance shrinking with every word. His father, however, puffed out his chest, desperate to regain control. Do you know who I am? He thundered. Do you have any idea the kind of power I hold in this city? You won't last a year in this job if you go through with this. Naomi's father sat back, his composure unshaken. Do you know what's worse than losing a job? He asked calmly. Failing my responsibility to protect every student in this school. I will not let intimidation, privilege, or prejudice dictate how justice is served here. He let the silence linger before delivering the final blow. Your son is expelled, effective immediately. And as for you? His eyes locked on Edward Grant. I'll also be pressing charges. Today, you racially profiled and verbally abused both me and my daughter. That will be documented and pursued legally. Edward went pale, his bluster collapsing into panic. No, you can't. This isn't. His voice faltered as the weight of the situation crashed down. For the first time, Tyler's confidence cracked. And just like that, the bully who once ruled by fear was left with nothing. What do you think? Was his punishment fair, or should it have gone even further? Let us know in the comments. And if you believe every bully eventually gets what's coming to them, hit that like button and subscribe to Story Arc because the fight against arrogance and prejudice starts with stories like this.